My first guest has released a book just under 2 months ago, and it's gone around the world. It's been very popular, and it captures in on a very big local story in the last couple of years, and that is the Becca Told Me To campaign. The book is hashtag Becca Told Me To. It is available now, and this is Jason Tremere. So Jason,
Hi.
how are you doing?
I am doing great.
Yeah, so the book's been out for, like I said, just under 2 months.
Yes, December 11th.
Has the reception been as you expected? Or?
Reception has been amazing, I got to tell you. The support for this book is pretty crazy. Like chapters, I gave them 132 copies, and 10 days later they were gone. It was like a week and a half. And my first order, this is my first paperback, so I didn't know how many to order. So the first order I placed was 300 copies, and it literally was 2 weeks, and they were all gone in Greater Moncton. So Chapters had some. There were some other stores, Cover to Cover Books in Riverview had some, and Starving Artist in Moncton had some. And yeah, they're just all gone.
And they're gone. It's just selling out like hotcakes.
Yeah, so I literally had 300 more arrive in my... Yeah, it's hot. So I literally had 308 more arrive in my kitchen this morning, so I'm starting to replenish Chapters stock. And actually last night I gave them 44 copies, and they were down to 28 just in less than 24 hours. So that's now that they're back in store, people are picking them up again. So
for sure, get your copy now, because clearly this is a very hot item.
It is.
And you know, it is just after Christmas, unfortunately. But
yes, we missed the Christmas rush because we kind of blew up the Amazon model. They actually shut down sales on me because basically the Schofields and I wanted this book in people's hands for Christmas, and we wanted people to give it as gifts and everything. And so the Schofields themselves personally ordered 200 copies on Amazon.ca, and they weren't able to meet that order before Christmas, and we ended up canceling it, and that was the 300 order. But basically after that, they even shut down sales. Nobody could order it at that point. It was almost like they sensed the demand, and they cut off sales. Like, you could still buy it in other countries, like the US and in Germany and France and everywhere else, but not in Canada. So I went back and forth with Amazon and the publisher CreateSpace, and they couldn't really explain to me what was going on, but as soon as the Christmas season was over, the sales were back, and they've stayed on ever since. So I think we just blew up their system there.
It's so odd that Amazon would be like, no, we don't want to make money.
No, that's what I told them, actually. I said, hey, Jeff Bezos, what's the deal? You're losing money?
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. We're out on HQ2, and there you go.
I did. I Twittered him, and I had some.
That's just it. So let's rewind it a little bit to the production of the book. And first of all, what prompted you to come up with this book? Because really, it is a collection of social media stories and of posts from people. So what inspired this?
Well, I could tell you, I've been trying to publish a book for 2 years now. And about a year ago is when the Becca hashtag started going on, and I started getting in her Facebook group, and there was 6,000 people in there at that time, and I could see all the acts of kindness, and I could see like the history of everything, and I'm like, geez, it'd be really great if somebody could just pull all this together. And at that point, like, I wanted to write a book, and I was developing my own content, but I'm like, there's literally 6,000 people in here developing content and kindness on a daily basis. Someone really should just pull this together. And I have a computer science degree, but that's my trade. That's what I studied. So I'm like, there's got to be a script out there. So I spent like a couple of weeks looking at different things and trying out different things. And about a month later, I came to the Schofields and I said, look, I have everything that's in the group. I have it day by day. I have it all sorted. It's in a spreadsheet. We should make a book on this.
So what you're saying is that this is your book with your name up, but you didn't write a thing.
That's right. That is true. I wrote the preface, but I put compiled and edited. So literally what I had to do is, there was thousands of posts, and people were tagging their friends and doing all these. So I basically, for privacy reasons, I had to depersonalize all of the posts, so it was just the act of kindness. So that's where the work was involved.
Fair enough. And we'll take a look at some of what's in here in a second.
That would be great, because there's so much good.
Yeah, there is excellent stuff in here for sure. But first of all, let's even rewind it back further. For the couple of people who may not know the story of Becca Schofield, can you very quickly just sum up exactly what the Becca Told Me To movement is?
Sure. So at the time I got into the story, Becca was 17, and she had been diagnosed with 2 terminal brain tumors. And at that time, she was starting to create her bucket list, so she wanted to leave a legacy behind. She knew she had 3 months to a year to live, so she mentioned Terry Fox in her Facebook post that he was young, he left behind a legacy. And so her dad, Darren, and her uncle, they all got together and said, it'd be nice if people just did acts of kindness in my name. And then they're like, okay, so if people do them, how would I know they actually did it for me? So they came up with the hashtag Becca Told Me To. So when people do it, she would know that they were inspired by her wish for kindness. And so everybody started doing that, and 1,066 posts later, we have a collection of what people have done in just the first 10 weeks, and this has gone on all of 2017, and I literally probably have enough for 3 more books.
So if you want the sequel.
Oh, yes, there's definitely enough for a sequel, let me tell you, because that's literally 3 months of the beginning of the movement.
That's for sure. So we're gonna blow this popsicle stand completely.
Great.
And we're gonna have a look and see some of these here. And these are just they are just little pockets, little stories. If you're looking for a little bit of inspiration of anything in your life, you know, you can take a look at these and just see, you know, what some things people have done just out of kindness, just out of the goodness of their hearts. You know, like this one, the February 5th. I was shopping with a friend yesterday at a local thrift store when a gentleman headed down our aisle. He stated he donated several items and they gave him 2 full punch cards and he wanted to pay it forward. He gave one to another lady in the store and then passed one on to me and said, #Becca Told Me To. I was so surprised and thanked him over and over again. Not for the discount, but for Becca. I do at least once a week or more, and it was nice to hear it from someone else. You know, and they're even going through, you can just look at different days, even as we go back. January 18th, 2017. This is a group effort to help a woman in need. Raised enough money to put $478 on her NB Power account, $230 in groceries, and a $150 grocery gift card. What we realize is that one person's $10 might not be able to help someone out of a tough time, but all of our $10 together can make a huge difference. Thank you to everyone that contributed. #Becca Told Me To. And there is, as you said, over 1,000.
There's over 1,000
of
10
those.
Weeks. And it's amazing to me that like people, it could be as small as buying someone coffee, it could be as big as buying someone's grocery order for a single mother, but there's literally acts of kindness in there that didn't cost a cent. There's people that have anxiety and they said that it's inspired them to go out and smile at people more and just get out of the house more. So there's just a little bit of everything in there. It's pretty amazing to see when it's compiled day by day.
And it's just so inspiring. So if you can pick that up, and you said that, you know, local stores are, they're getting numbers.
Yes. Well, and here's the thing, like the first bookstore was starving artists, so she took 20 copies one day. The next day she says, can I take 20 more? And that's the kind of, and same with Cover to Cover. They took 25 the first day. They're like, we need 25 more. And now they want like 40 or 50 at a time. That's how it's going.
That's crazy. So has your publisher been able to keep up with the demand?
You know, it's funny. It's funny. I just had a problem with my publisher because I was ordering in quantities of 100 to 300. We were fine, but my last order was 528, and we again blew up the system. And I'm just starting to get those books now. They were due January 31st, and they're just starting to trickle into my house now. So we blew up the system. They had to outsource it to California. They're normally printed in South Carolina. So yeah.
So you just picked a number that just happened to be too high.
Well, at that time, well, because we had 300, we're like, we got to get almost double that. So we went with 500, and that's when we blew up the system again.
That just blew up the system. Much like the #Becca Told Me To has around the world. It's just blown up everywhere.
And as I say, when I got in that Facebook group, there was 6,000 people. Now there's 22,000. So that's how much it's blown up in 1 year as well.
Yeah, and how much if you watch and track the Becca Told Me To hashtag, and you can see a little bit in here. Though, as you mentioned, you cut away a lot of the personal details.
Right, I had to take up personal, but I left in the regional references because I thought that was important.
No, for sure. Yep. And you know, some of these posts are not just from Riverview, Moncton, Dieppe. Some of these are from the Maritimes. Some of these are from across Canada. Some of them internationally as well. That's you know, the #Becca Told Me To has been around the world several times over. If you follow it on your social medias, there is some incredible stuff.
Oh yeah. No, and I just saw on Facebook that somebody's shipping a copy to the Philippines. I just saw that the other day, and I have a friend buying one in Australia, and I know somebody else who's shipping one to Australia to a friend too. So. And there's a guy that wants to take 10 to Jamaica on vacation with him in the next few weeks. So you just never know where it's going to end up.
Yeah, and it's amazing that it's basically, you know, it's word of mouth and small publishing, and you know, a lot of small business really pushing this forward.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's great to see that kind of thing. Now, what does the future hold for this? I know you said that you have material to make. You could make 3 or 4 more if you wanted to.
Yes, 3 more just even with that year. The other thing I wanted to do was a French translated version, because right now the Anglophone East School District has really taken hold of this, and they've sent me. The first week they had 115 orders come in, and the second week they had almost 50 orders come in. So that's just Anglophone East, but Anglophone North, like there seems to be high demand in Miramichi for the book. Like I'm personally sending one to someone tomorrow. So who knows if more school districts get onto it and more young people are into the movement, it could spread. Oh, and I know I'm sending one to Saskatchewan, and it's going in a school library there as well. So
That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yes. So Jason, we've got about 30 seconds. Where can people get this book? If you don't have a copy now, it is hashtag Becca Told Me To. Where can they get it? I know you've mentioned local chapters and a number of local bookstores.
Yes, chapters Moncton, Indigo Charlottetown, chapters Fredericton, Indigo St. John, Starving Artist Moncton, cover to cover in Riverview, and Cactus Hairstyling on West Main. My hairstylist stocks the book. They're full supporters. So they sold 20. They asked for 10 copies. When I got there, they said we better take 20 because we have 8 that you already need to sign for customers.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
Hashtag Becca Told Me To. Jason Tremere, the author of this amazing book. You can get it now.